Hi, I'm Zach,
And I'm Rachel.
and today we're going to be talking about wrong or misused prepositions. First, we'll start by defining preposition.
A preposition is a device that links nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence.
The 9 most common prepositions are
At, by, for, from, in, of, on, to, and with. But those aren't the only ones. There's many prepositions like behind, down, along, beside, under, between, beneath, toward, among, below, and so on, as you can see from this word cloud.
preposition is the primary component of a prepositional phrase, which essentially continues the movement of a sentence.
The prepositional phrase is made up of a preposition plus a noun, pronoun, gerund, or clause. It's also known as the object of the preposition.
Let me show-
They never stand alone. Gathering words behind them, you sing like a butterfly or like a bee, like an ant as busy as can be. These little words we call the busy peas. Preposition. 9 or 10 of them do most all of the work of on, to, with, in, from, by, for, at, over, across. And many others do their job, which is simply to connect their noun or pronoun object to some other word in the sentence. Busy peas, if you please. On the top is where you are. Top relates to where. With a friend you'll travel far. With a friend you'll go. If you try, you know that you can fly over the rainbow. Over the rainbow is where you can fly. Busy prepositions, always on the go. Like a bunch of busy bees, floating pollen on the breeze, buzzing over the meadows, beyond the forest, through the trees, into the beehive. Busy, busy bees. Beyond, over, on, through. Busy prepositions, always out in front. On the edges, in the crack, around the corner, from the back, in between the action, stating clearly to your satisfaction the location and direction. Prepositions give specific information.
Alright, we're not going to watch all the video, but hopefully that gave you a good idea of what prepositions do and how they work within a sentence.
Now, let's identify the prepositional phrase.
There's an example provided below this sentence. There's a prepositional phrase right there.
We drove our car to the store. The direct object would be the car, and preposition to, the prepositional phrase would be to the store. See it a little more clearly?
In this diagram, we can see the relationship even better.
The prepositional phrase is made up of a preposition and its complement. There can be a single word preposition like under, with, to, or a multiple word next to, instead of, and the complement can be an adverb, noun phrase, or a clause.
For example,
the team arrived at the stadium. At is the preposition, at the stadium is the prepositional phrase. There are bars on Tennessee Street. On is the preposition, on Tennessee Street is the prepositional phrase.
so what problems do we run into when using prepositions? Primarily, they're just simply misused.
Let's look at an example.
Sally was disappointed from her bad grade.
In this sentence, the misused preposition is from. The correct word should be with.
Sally was disappointed with her bad grade.
Sound a little better now?
Another common problem is ending a sentence with a preposition. Although this isn't always wrong, typically it's something you want to avoid. Here we're looking at an everyday conversation you could have while texting. We'll take David. David says, "Where are you at?"
I'm at my apartment. Stop misusing prepositions or I'm going to break up with you.
This is the kind of nonsense I won't put up with.
We're done.
Although David doesn't seem to have bad grammar, his girlfriend felt the need to break up with him because he kept misusing the prepositions by putting them at the end of the sentence.
Winston Churchill once said, ending a sentence with a preposition is something up with which I will not put.
Although it's not eloquent, Churchill certainly had the right idea by avoiding putting prepositions at the end of the sentence.
Another big problem is missing prepositions. A lot of times people just omit them, and this is due to editing errors or corrective software, but let's look at what a difference it makes in the sentence.
A couple of incorrect examples: let's meet in the library and who called the game.
These sentences were missing some words, like let's meet at the library or who called off the game. These prepositions add a lot of meaning to the sentence that they didn't have before. See?
So, if we're trying to trace the root of the problems, we got to find out why are these mistakes happening so frequently.
Well, colloquialisms, text messaging, editing errors, imperfect corrective software, and many other reasons. We just use them so commonly in our everyday language through writing and speaking that we don't even realize we're making them a lot of the time.
So, in an effort to correct these problems, here are some helpful tips.
At tells where an object or subject is, while to refers to another location.
For example, we arrived at the mall. Kelly went to school.
If we use these incorrectly, it would change the sentence a lot.
For measures time, while since refers to a specific period.
For example, Jessica has been waiting for 8 hours. She had a job since she was 16. If we switch these around, the sentence wouldn't make sense anymore.
Use in or for with general measurements and on or at for more specific dates.
Example, the project is due on March 20th. My birthday is in December. Some phrases that require a preposition are
Ahead of, concern for, worry about, in between. Be sure to remember to include these specific prepositions when using these words.
And one last thing to look at. Regions require in, addresses at, and streets or roads on.
She lives in Florida. She lives at 514 West College Ave. She lives on College Ave.
If we misuse these, the sentence wouldn't make sense at all.
Remember to use these tools when writing and even speaking to avoid misuse of prepositions.
We hope this cleared a few things up for you.